Hi, I'm Mavis Fodness, and welcome to Star Media. I am coming to you today from our downtown studio here in Laverne, and today we are talking about the 2025 Rock County Fair, and that is slated for July 23rd through the 26th. Today I have with me Lynette and Twila, and would you please just introduce yourselves a little bit and tell me how you got involved with the Rock County Fair?
Hi, I'm Lynette Jauert. I've been part of the Rock County Fair pretty much all my life with siblings that grew up in 4-H. I showed in 4-H, and the progression just generally had me move into assisting my mom actually in the floral hall and eventually becoming the assistant superintendent under Ida Reverts. And when she unfortunately passed away, then I asked Twila to step into her shoes, and she's doing a great job.
So yeah, Twila Walker, and I've probably been in it for 15 years, but since Ida passed, been co-superintendent for about 13 years. I think it's been now. So
One thing that we associate with the county fairs is, of course, 4-H'ers and all the animals, and then you have all the carnival rides. And maybe one of the forgotten items is the open class that we have at the Rock County Fair, and that's what you guys are superintendents of. Could you tell me what open class is for someone who may not, realize what this event is?
Open class is exactly that. It is open to anyone, any age, any sex, anyone that wants to exhibit things. We have 12 different divisions within the open class book, and it pretty much covers anything from vegetables to baking to photography to sewing, arts,
woods.
We even have a metal class if you do that.
And you don't have to live in the county, a resident of the county. You can actually come and exhibit at our county fair.
It's open to everyone. That means if you live in Iowa last year, because Rock Rapids had a difficulty with the flood in their fairgrounds, we invited the Rock Rapids people up. Some of them came and really did very, very well. We really, really enjoyed that. We have a lot of exhibitors from South Dakota. It's easier to enter in the Rock County Fair than it is in the Minnehaha County Fair.
You mentioned about you enter things at the fair because these events are judged, right? And so you've brought in outside judges, or is this something that you rely on local talent to do? And maybe something, what do the judges do when they have all the items in front of them?
Okay, for 4-H, you have what's called conference judging, where the person actually talks to the judge. For open class, you bring your exhibit, you leave the exhibit, the judge comes in on Wednesday afternoon, and we have different judges that are specialists within those areas. Most of them live fairly close to the area, just to save on mileage and that type of thing, keep our costs down, but they are all either certified 4-H judges, or they are teachers of the type of thing.
Are experts in that area?
Experts in that area, I suppose.
Okay, but they don't necessarily talk to the person who made
No.
the item at all. It is just strictly on that item itself. Unlike with 4-H and their conference judging,
Right.
They actually get judged on their knowledge. So that ribbon means a lot of different things for, the 4-H'er. But you get ribbons in open class, right?
Yes.
Correct. We have what we call the best of show, and reserve best of show, which means you are the best in your division. So like if I bring in a flower and the judge looks at all the flowers and all the arrangements and he says that flower is the best, that is the best of show. And then they go and they select the reserve best of show. And then within each individual division or subdivision, we have a champion and a reserve. And many of those areas have special prizes.
Okay.
We have a lot of people like the Laverne Optimist Club donates a lot of awards to our youth champions. The Sewing Basket, Sunshine, Laverne Flowers, Rock County Master Gardeners, and the Ag Society itself.
Okay. Now you have another sponsor this year, which is King Arthur Flour. And
Correct.
I don't know if this area is growing for the fair, but it's kind of a competition division that you happen to have? And I think one thing that's in there is the sewing one. Is that,
There's also a sewing
could you tell me a
challenge.
little bit? The sewing challenge is what it is.
The sewing challenge is we went to the sewing basket and we picked out 5 fabrics. And this year is a Christmas theme.
Okay.
So you go and they have that all kit all ready to go. And you purchase that and you can add fabric to it if you need to. But the more of the fabric, if you can use up to three of the fabrics.
A minimum of
A
3.
minimum of 3.
Okay.
But if you use all 5, it's a better, what do I say, more points you
Point of
get.
sales. Okay. Okay. So now you're adding the King Arthur Baking Challenge. Could you tell me a little bit something about what
Well,
that
the King
entails?
Arthur baking challenge is there's a recipe which is in the premium book.
Okay.
It's on the back page here, and you have to use this recipe.
Okay.
So, and then there's awards also with that.
Okay. And
Really
you-
nice awards, like
Awards.
$75 for first place, $50 and $25 for the adult, and $40, $25 and $25 for the youth.
All right. So you have an adult and youth
Yeah,
division.
the youth
under that.
division, actually, what they can do is select their own sugar cookie recipe.
Okay.
The only criteria for both of them is you must use King Arthur flour, which is available at Sunshine Foods. And when you bring it in to enter it, you must bring either the empty bag or the purchase seal
Okay.
for it to prove that you use King Arthur
Arthur
flour.
Right, so we are like, what, 5 weeks out from the fair. I might be a little early to be talking about, entering in the open class, but with the open class and all the divisions that you have, people either need to be working on something to bring it that day, or, like the challenge, I assume you probably bake it that day, and, or, already have the item done. So tell me about the registration process. You mentioned that Rock County is a lot easier than maybe Minnehaha County to enter. What is something that people need to know with the registration?
First of all, you need to pick up a premium book. Or you can go, either the premium book is at the library, the extension office in Laverne, it's at the ACE Generations building, or you can find it online at rockcountyfair.org. And what I suggest you do is go through the book and look at all the different areas and realize you can only have 1 entry per lot.
Okay.
So if you have 1 sewing project per se, you can enter, and you've got 2 exactly the same.
Okay.
You cannot enter them both in the sewing division. But if you are a senior citizen, you can enter 1 in the senior division and 1 in the sewing division. Also, when you look at this book on the back page, there is an entry form right here. What we'd like you to do is make one of those out, make copies of it, or you can get copies of it at the library, and have one for each exhibitor. It includes the name, the address, city, and then you fill out this form so that when you come actually down to the fairgrounds, our goal is to have the person come in and be out of the building within 15 minutes.
Okay.
It's, the more entries you have, if you fill out 3 sheets of this, you're not going to do it.
Okay. Because when you get there, you have all your items, and you go off of this list, and tags are made for each of those items, so you know which judging area to take it to.
Yes.
All right. So there's only certain times when you bring your open class items. So when's the days and times that people can bring their items to the fair?
Well, the entry day, let's see,
It's
it's on
listed.
Tuesday, July 2nd, from 5 to 8:30, and Wednesday, the 23rd, from 9:30 to 1.
Okay, so it's the Tuesday and Wednesday, which is the opening day of the fair. People
Right.
can bring their items in.
So then after 1 o'clock, then the judging starts.
Okay. Right.
We really request if you have many entries to come earlier in the time period, because we do have judges that will be waiting to start the judging. And if you if you're gonna bring 1 or 2 items in, feel free to come in over your noon break, bring them in. But if you have pages of sewing that you did, previously, either come in Tuesday night or plan to come in around 9:30.
Right.
And now one thing, you know, as a group, the open class, I assume you take suggestions from individuals, and I think one of the suggestions is to expand your photography divisions, because that seems to be one of the more popular areas that people bring in. So what is new this year for your photography division?
Our photography division was totally revamped since last year's fair. We now have 3 age divisions. We have, I believe it's 17 and over, 14 to 16, and 13 and younger.
Okay.
And it's the same classes, but they're a little bit broader than what they were before, so there's more offerings and ways that you can exhibit. And by doing this, we're allowing more champions, more prizes.
Okay, I understand. But everybody gets a ribbon that comes there. And is there a premium tied to that ribbon from the Ag Society?
Yes, there is. I believe if you look on the front inside cover of the page, it is $6 for a division champion, $4 for a reserve champion, $3 for a blue, $2 for a red, $1 for a white ribbon. And also we have many, if you go to each individual area, you will see, like, for instance, in the the flower area, there are many different gift certificates that are awarded for each individuals too.
Yep, in our Fabric Challenge, there's an additional prize also, gift certificates there. And then
And
our
then-
Optimist Club, they also give for the junior division extra cash.
All right. So there's anything and everything in the open division at the
There
Rock County
is.
Fair. So no matter if you're a sewer, a gardener, a baker, artist, whatever, there's probably something in this big catalog that you can enter and show your talent. Great. And I assume the Floral Hall, which is the Ida Reverts Floral Hall, is open during the fair so people can see all the items and the ribbons placings. Could you tell me a little bit about the hours of when the Floral
They're
Hall
open
is
at 10 o'clock in the morning till 9 p.m. every day of the fair.
Great. And then people should pick up their items once the fair is done.
When the fair is done at no earlier than 9 o'clock on Saturday, we
Okay.
start letting the projects go.
But the big thing is people get to keep their projects. It isn't like they
No.
go in the trash or go anywhere else. That they are.
Well, we highly recommend that you throw away, like, your moldy fruit.
And the flowers, yes, understandably. Well, great. Well, there's a lot of fun that's going to be happening at the Open Division at the Rock County Fair, and that takes place July 23rd through the 26th. So thank you, ladies, for coming in and talking about the Open Division.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.